You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
A lot of you out there are experts on the BCS and which football team should get the number one ranking. I'm not an expert on that. I'm an expert on how the world really works. And see, I'm going to go to your calls in 1 minute, but the point is, every issue I bring up, like how they got women into the workforce, forced them into it, now they tax us so heavily, the economy's set up where you have to work, women have figured out it was a scam. Too late now. We've been deindustrialized. We've been set up by the social engineers. But, you know, I say go out and get donkey milk, go out and get goat's milk. You can get goat's milk most places, only some rural areas, and then the really bigger cities that have places that specialize in that have the jackass milk, the donkey milk, which is the very best. The problem is, though, the regulators force them to then pasteurize the goat's milk, pasteurize the donkey milk, and so then babies, it's been boiled, it's been cooked. It's had all the live enzymes killed, and so then most babies can't hold that down, just like they can't hold down cow's milk. Did you know cows don't even release the same type of milk they released 100 years ago from breeding? There was a few percentage points of cows that had a different type of milk, a thinner milk, and it's like blood types. You can go pull it all up, all the specifics. It's similar to that, to where this other type of milk, cow milk used to be a lot better for you than it is now. And I've seen all the major studies on this, pull them up. By the 50s, they made all the major dairies pasteurized. Now, what did that do? Before, you had to make sure the milk was clean. You ever milk cows? I have. You go in there, and the cow, you're putting the nozzles on there. The cow kicks something over, or cow manure gets into the feed. You got to dump all that milk out. You got to keep all that stuff clean. But with pasteurization, they can just pump the blood, the filth. Oh, that's what there's blood and pus, because they overmilk these cows into there. Then they just boil it all and cook it all down, the manure and everything in there. Like they give you rotten beef now. Their answer is radiate it. They give you rotten lunch meat, starts killing a bunch of people. 5-6 years ago, they say, we'll just spray bacteria-eating viruses. Oh, don't believe me? Google that. Viruses sprayed on meat. Print that for me, Hooge. This computer in here isn't printing for some reason. I want to read that on there before I leave. I'm going to go to your calls. It's just that, see, they won't even let you have that. They won't even let you. But, see, there's one milk supply they can't stop, and that's you, the mother. Though they try to have these lactation classes and threaten the mothers when the nurse comes in when the baby's born, maybe you should put them on formula. You don't know what you're doing, not telling you the baby's weak, and always, sometimes it takes 2 days to nurse, but they're designed to do that. It's a purification process. A lot of studies show they shouldn't even be, other than some colostrum, right when they're first born, be eating for a couple days. They're supposed to lose weight, sometimes 10% of their body weight. They tell you that's abnormal. In some areas of the country, more than half the children are being born by cesarean. See, they're institutionalizing everything where you can't have a baby normally. You can't give them your own milk. It's all social engineering and control. Oh, you just found it instantly. FDA okays bacteria-eating viruses to treat meat. MSNBC, Associated Press, preparation targets microbes that kill hundreds of people a year. What they don't, and this came out in 2006. It's now sprayed on most meats. And they don't tell you is that it's thousands of times higher than the regular amount of these bacteria, of these viruses that normally do kill bacteria. They say it's natural. They don't tell you they breed these in giant vaccine tanks with other viruses and bacteria and have been linked to a bunch of deaths. There it is for you. Everything I say is documented. I remember that article from 2.5 years ago. I have a near photographic memory. All right, let's go ahead and talk to David in Washington. David, thanks for holding her on the air worldwide.
Hey, Alex Jones. Great show, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hey, I did drink my mom's milk. And
pretty soon they'll say that means you're with Al-Qaeda.
But I did have bacon and eggs, though. It's not too long ago. And so I'd be the first to admit. My
point is, everything we do, the way we speak, everything we believe we are, was implanted into us by the marketers.
Yeah, for sure.
Which are the psych warfare experts. Go ahead.
But I'm the first to admit, I've been pretty dumbed down. But about a year ago, I had
television does that. There are hundreds of studies that watching more than 4 hours of TV above the age of 60 massively increases, 5-fold in one study, 7-fold in another study I saw, Alzheimer's, because your brain mass starts dying at age 30. You start losing about 40,000 brain cells a day. Some studies say 35,000, some say 50,000. But you start losing tens of thousands of brain cells a day, but you have new neural pathways being constantly formed by doing new activities, researching music. But when you just watch and spectate watching television, it causes long-term long-term brain damage. Check it out for yourself. I'm sorry. Google. No, stop. Let's do it again. Google television watching contributes to Alzheimer's. Sorry, go ahead, sir.
No, I believe it. I turned off my TV.
Whereas your mind could be burning with energy and knowledge. Instead, you just watch BCS. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I watch a little C-SPAN. But I am turning 30 next year. But I've been dumbed down, and I've been awakened ever since my stroke that I had a year ago. And I've tuned into you and listened to Ron Paul. And
MSG causes strokes. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know what it was, really. I don't have too much stress, but anyway, I was calling this to actually have you break down the New World Order, but you've been doing that, and so I don't want to, have you. I guess I want you to do that even more, to break it down even more. But I just kind of have a question, wondering when you think an actual revolt will take place in.
Well, see, I meant to get into that today, but it's very subtle. I'm going to cover it tomorrow.
Okay.
The psychological warfare experts have been training us not to have outrage with more and more crazy announcements like mercury's good for you on the news and poison toys from China is good. That's a quote, CNBC. So what if the government's killing children? The head of the CPS in Oklahoma said that the other day. I played it on the show. So what if we're doing, so what if 1.5 million Iraqis are dead in the last 5.5 years? So what if melamine is in 90% of the milk and killing people? So what? See, they're just trying, so what? They're just conditioning people to accept anything right now.
Yeah, totally. It's just like the gospel. I mean, the breakdown of the New World Order, you just can't hear it enough, man. I love it every time you break it down, just for the newest.
Look, it's international. It's international private. I appreciate your call. It's international private corporations combining their forces to destroy nations, bankrupt countries, so they can consolidate power. Okay, I mean that's what the New World Order is. Let's go ahead and talk to Ralph in Florida. You're on the air, Ralph.
Yes, hello, Jones.
Yes, sir.
Yes, hello, Jones. You hear me?
Over. Yes.
Yes. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank you for your show. You don't have to worry about being dumbed down because you're quite intelligent. I also like to say that your staff, God bless you, and your staff for the show that you bring to the nation. You basically carry this nation, on your back, and very few people in the world, in the United States, basically understand that. But all in all, right, this stuff you're talking about. Ben Gurion back in the early 50s talked about how he wanted to get India and Pakistan to engage each other because it was a threat.
Yeah, that's been official Israeli policy since Ben Gurion, and that's actually in the news today, is to get India and Pakistan to fight each other. And Israel has been caught funding militant groups to kill Hindus to start that. I don't know if Israel's involved in this one. It looks more like ISI through CIA.
Yeah, and one thing is, can you imagine, I mean, I'm sure you can, but very few people can't. India and Pakistan engaging each other, two nuclear states, two nuclear powers, the gorge, the blood, the suffering that would actually be imparted.
Well, sir, did you hear me?
Engage.
Did you hear me a month ago and a week ago say that they're going to stage something between Pakistan and India? And exactly what I said happened because they think the public's dumb. Obama's people said they were going to go into Pakistan. Well, they've got to have an excuse to do it, and this is only the beginning.
Well, the thing is that you've been following this organization, this conspiracy, for a long time. So you don't even have to do a lot of research. You basically do some basic reading, and you know what's the next move.
By the way, speak of the devil, BBC, TV watching makes you obese. He didn't find the one about Alzheimer's, but it says, compared with other sedentary behaviors, sitting on your butt, TV watching is associated with lower resting metabolic rate. So you have a lower metabolic rate watching TV than you do sitting in a chair doing nothing, reading a book. Why? I'll answer that question when we get back. God bless you, sir. Appreciate your call. All right, we'll talk to Stephen. We'll talk to Peter. We'll talk to Mark. We'll talk to Ian. In fact, Ian, when we get back, stay with me. But I'll tell you why watching TV, this is government study, gives you a lower metabolic rate than sitting still reading a book. Why? The answer when we get back. Stay with us.